Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 1.09% to 43,510. Ethereum up 2.99% to 3234. This is a very big change from yesterday. If we look at yesterday's charts, it was all red. Today has gone green, and some of these greens are quite good. Near up 14%, Ethereum Classic up 12%, 0x 13.79%, Kava 11.86%. This is just to show you how quickly things can turn around in crypto. This is the nature of crypto. I quite like looking at Coin360 because it has some very good features. The graduation in the shading really helps you to pick out what is tanking and what is doing well. And we can see that there are a number of things across the market that are doing quite well. It's always good to keep your eyes on these particular sectors. This particular heat map is from CryptoRank.io. Here we can drill into the DeFi sector, and we can drill into other sectors such as cloud storage and blockchain services. It's really interesting. It's good to keep your eye across the entire market. That's what I do every day. We can see Engine doing quite well in the gaming sector. Just before we get into things, Kerry is going through a live pullback at the moment and has been doing so for some time. He's one of our beloved CTKS ambassadors. I just want to let Kerry know, and all the people inside our community, that our love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there is always hope. Opportunities reset daily. Professional investors and traders, and we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, so it's really important to do it correctly. You don't want to buy at the top and sell at the bottom. Rule 570, psychology sets profitability. In life, we can get an enormous amount of strength because we think that what we own and what we do is our contribution to the world. Not true. Own or do is not you. You're not the things that you own. You're not the things that you do. You actually exist independently of both those things, and you're already absolutely worthy for success. When you're trading and investing, and we know all investors become traders, you have to fight self-sabotage and self-doubt. They're two very expensive things to have. That's why we relegate money to a minor position. It just comes through successful application of rules, and we focus on maintaining a positive excellence life trend, one of kindness, integrity and decency, gratitude, happiness, inner and outer peace. Why is inner and outer peace important? Because when people don't have inner and outer peace, they have inner conflict or outer conflict. Any form of conflict will cause stress. Stress is incredibly bad for your health. You want to avoid that. You want to focus on inner peace and outer peace. And you say, Ken, I'm just here to trade and invest in crypto. What's all this stuff? It's actually your secret weapon. Your psychology sets your profitability. A lot of people try to distance themselves from the psychology that they need to have and just say, I'm going to get some indicator, and that indicator will tell me when to buy or when to sell. If that was true, that indicator would make unlimited amounts of money, and the people creating the indicator wouldn't give it away. The truth is, all indicators are flawed in some way. That's why there are so many of them. But when people get into the crypto market, for the start, they become addicted to news and indicators. We're all about the professional smart money mindset, and after 30 plus years in financial markets, there's no other way to be consistently profitable. You have to become independent of the system, and I'll show you how to do that. We know that all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. This is a very interesting relationship. What actually happens when people get into the market to start with? They buy on green, which is the opposite of what professionals do. Professionals were buying yesterday, not today. We can see the market is quite green. This is where professionals do not buy. They buy on red. And then, of course, investors and traders actually hold their positions. Traders may hold it for a week or less, maybe even a couple of hours, depending on the trading style. And they may hold it for a couple of months, again, depending on what kind of style they're doing. Investors tend to hold on for dear life, no matter what style they have. And what I mean by that, they're hodling, diamond hands, all of that kind of stuff, as things go up and down, and they frequently see their gains disappear. Traders love gains. They sell them in. They sell and they lock in what? On the green. This is what traders are all about. Buying on the red and selling on the green. BORSOG. BORSOG. BORSOG is one of the most important rules that you can ever understand when it comes to investing and trading. And we know investing and trading is just the same thing. BORSOG, buy on red. SOG, sell on green. I'd like to let you know, just as a bit of fun, I created a KenFT, not an NFT, a KenFT. Oh, how fun is that? Basically, this is BORSOG in the background and our beloved CTKS community coin. I'd like to let you know that I actually handcrafted and designed this myself. I've been a graphic designer actually for many years. I studied it in school and thought seriously of becoming a graphic designer. You also have a special code in here which guarantees the authenticity of this. And this particular coin is not much. It's really, really cheap. Getting into NFTs is really quite interesting. This is from Gary V. I thought to myself, I don't think you want a sketchy figure like this, even though these are selling at like 16 ETH. I think you want something high quality. I bring high quality to everything I do. I just couldn't conceive of doing something like this and putting it up. But of course, Gary V, he's Gary V. He does things like this, but it gives you some kind of understanding of what actually sells with an NFT. I also handcrafted and designed a BORSOG legendary NFT, but again, I keep the price really, really low. This is a very limited number of BORSOG NFTs, and you can see BORSOG here, and he does some really cool stuff. And I actually talk in this narration. I actually narrate this clip, and you'll see BORSOG doing his screech. I love doing this kind of graphic design. And if you would like another rule, Rule 4, price moves in waves, let's get the number 1. Where is number 1? Number 4? Ooh, here is number 1. This is the number 1, the first price moves in waves legendary collection. You can see that what I do, I've actually designed all of this, and I've made sure that you've got a particular stamp in there to defend the authenticity of this. It's very hard for scammers to scam our community. I will be bringing out more of these legendaries, but it's just very limited at the moment. I just put 5 up at a time. If you would like to go to those links, please check the description of this video. Just pressing the show more button. They're on OpenSea, and you can always reach out and direct message me on Twitter anytime you like. Getting back to investors and traders, realistically, it's about fighting crypto stress. There's a lot of stress in the crypto market. There's stress in selecting what you actually buy, stress in understanding the fundamentals, stress in reading so many news stories that literally go against each other, stress about buying the green. Will it stay green? Stress about the fear of missing out. Will you miss out? Fear about certainty. Will this thing actually move in the direction? And seeking to time exact bottoms and exact tops. And this whole concept of having diamond hands. I have a little question for you. If you put $1,000 into the crypto market and made 10%, and you did it 10 times, and just saying that that was the net amount after fees, what would your percent return be? Please let me know in the comments. It's always a trader's market, but it's seldomly an investor's market. Investment markets must continue to go up for investments to pay off. But go up to where? And where do people sell? If you're investing and you do not know how to trade, you will absolutely be losing money. Professional investors and traders live their life by rules. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We talk about this every day, and I've proven it 1,000 ways from Tuesday, but I want to show you something really interesting. Have a look at this particular news article. A new petro asset, this historic move could send Bitcoin's price to 1 million. Meanwhile, Ethereum, BNB, Terra, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin are sinking. What does this actually tell you? It tells you that Bitcoin can move up and the other alts can move down. This is simply not the truth. You can see what's happened to the crypto market. Bitcoin has moved up and it's pushed all the alts up with it. Nothing, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. What you will find if you're addicted to the news, you're absolutely and utterly going to stress yourself, perhaps even into sickness, and that is not what this is about. As a global family, we're all about being more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. Look at this, Bitcoin price tumbles overnight, but it's going to 1 million. What can crypto investors? Remember, all investors become traders. If you do not know how to trade, you're losing money, guaranteed. Professionals have a lot of rules. One rule is Rule 173. Be independent from the news. Another rule that you absolutely need to know, Rule 225. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. So how has Bitcoin been doing? Bitcoin is currently trading at 43,584. We can see that it moves sideways into the A area. I've just aligned these different boxes so we can get a better perspective. I know, the first thing you will say, Ken, what's that white line? What's that? That's the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. Oh, hang on, that looks pretty interesting. Kind of Bitcoin is moving in that basic direction, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, and this is really important to understand. A lot of people, when they get into crypto, they just want to look at their very, very low cap alt, and they think that's going to make them a billionaire. The truth is, the first level of risk management is selection when it comes to the crypto market. Getting into very, very risky alts is by nature very, very risky. There were some really incredible discussions in the comments section on YouTube as to where Bitcoin's price was headed. Please let me know where you think it will go, and you can just simply put down the letter. If you're feeling a bit shy or you just are time poor, you can put down, for example, A, if you think it's going to go within this particular region. That would be from about 43,000 to 45,648. Or maybe you think it's coming down to B, which was from about 42,842 to 41,213. The key thing is that traders don't look so much about the price. We're more interested in the percents, but you can get an overall perspective. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or E? Another thing we can do is to look at the short behavior and the long behavior, and we can see the shorts coming up and the longs also coming up. Often looking at liquidations will help contextualize those particular charts, those graphs. We can see over the past 24 hours about 86.59 million in liquidations. This is a big difference from the over 400 million in liquidations yesterday. We're getting 36,756 positions liquidated. Over the past 4 hours, we've had a lot of short liquidations. over 80%. Over the past hour, about 66%. Over the past 12 hours, a little closer to 55%. And over the past 24 hours, about 50-50. One thing to always pay attention to, if you're going long or you're going short in the market, which is something that a lot of people do unknowingly, please make sure that you only trade at spot. Trading at spot means that you can withstand any volatility in the market, and the crypto market is incredibly volatile. Both longs and short positions get stopped out all the time, and it's not uncommon for people to try and hedge against volatility and get wrecked. That means liquidated in both directions. Friends don't let friends leverage trade. When we look at fear and greed, we saw a lot of fear entering the market. What is the correlation between fear and price? What do you think it is? When you look at this chart, please let me know in the comments what you see. As a former lecturer in first and second year statistics, I always love to see my students outthink a problem. That's what it's all about. A lot of people want the answer spoon-fed. If you can learn to think, you can learn to be independent. That's really, really valuable to you. And having a look at aggregated open interest, we've seen a big spike up here. This is quite a big spike. It really came down, found a support level and bounced up. This is actually looking quite good for the market. You'll see how quickly things can change. When we look at a 7-day analysis of the major cryptos, we can see NEAR up 32%, MENA up 30%, ANC over 30%, CVX about 20%, Cello nearly 19%, Audio nearly 15%, and Doge nearly 8%. What we can also see is this turning around. Now, what's this little guy here? That's Waves. Hi Waves, we can wave to wave. What we actually see is Waves is overcoming a level of resistance, starting to base pattern out. That might take off again. What about this one? This is Zilliqa, ZIL. ZIL is just getting over resistance. Could be interesting as well. Always make your own decisions. Another area where traders and investors vary significantly. Traders have in advance probabilistic choices as to what they will do if price moves in a specific direction. If price moves down, they know what they'll do. If price moves up, they know what they'll do. If price moves flat, sideways, they also know what they will do. This is very, very different from investing. In investing, basically investors buy at a specific price and just wait for it to go up. But the question is, when do you get rid of it? That's where a knowledge of trading comes in. If you know how to trade, you know how to sell. Crypto technical analysts scientifically track investor attention. Investor attention is measured by reality. What's reality in the market? It's price, and it's not future promises. So many projects will give you every promise under the sun, while their price is headed towards zero. Traders don't care about promises, they only care about reality. And of course, the best combination is to be both an investor and a trader, because they're basically the same thing anyway. When people first enter the crypto market, they light switch into opportunities. They tend to go all in or all out. They're not quite sure what to get, so they typically buy the lowest price particular alt that they can get, and scammers know this. That's why scammers actually do rug pulls when the price is so tiny. They want to suck people in, especially on things like memes. For example, the Squid Game was a really popular Netflix show, and scammers brought out the Squid token and they did a rug pull. Everybody lost their money. This is what happens inside the crypto market. That's why you have to be really careful about what you go into. I would suggest that you don't go too far outside the top 200. The first thing the crypto technical analysts do, and these are professionals, they mark up the charts with the CTKS methodology. They look outside next for trends. They check the stock markets, and you know why. They collect probabilities because it's only probability that will give you an indication of where price is going. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, which we do talk a lot about, when people enter the crypto market, they basically want certainty. There is no certainty inside financial markets. If there was certainty, there would be very, very low return. You can go to bonds for a degree of certainty, but as we've found recently, even bonds can become high risk. Next, we look inside the crypto market, understanding that opportunities reset daily, finding the market's focus, enhancing our pattern recognition. This does take time, but it's absolutely worth it. Earned is kept, everything else is redistributed. We focus on real wealth. We're professionals who don't let self-sabotage and self-doubt cloud out our decision-making process, and that's really important. But we also know that we're going to be very financially successful, but who do you become when you have money? That's why I keep on saying what you own and what you do is not you. That's not you. You can have a mansion, you can have a basic house, you can have an apartment. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what job you do. You are inherently worthy as a person, and that is what real wealth is all about. Money is the output of successfully following rules. That's why we put it all the way down the bottom there. Some people are so poor that they only have money. We never want to be like that. All of life is about having a good time and finding meaning. Finding meaning in existence is really, really important. Inner and outer peace are also important. Getting away from conflict is an essential thing to do to maintain a positive excellence life trend. That automatically makes you happier. Cryptocurrencies represent the evolution of the internet from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, and that's called the Internet of Money. This is where you can actually own a chunk of the internet through the protocols or the layers that you actually buy. Bitcoin, Ethereum, for example. What we actually see here when it comes to internet usage history versus crypto users, the number of actual crypto users is growing at an exponential rate, and we've got decades and decades to go until we match the rate of the internet. Remember that this is the next evolution of the internet. A lot of people don't understand what crypto is, and that's fine because it's a discontinuous innovation. It's an invention. Crypto is just at the start of its adoption cycle. We will see hyper adoption occurring when more and more the percentage of people around the world will become adopters of that technology. We're so early. We're so incredibly early. But a lot of people talk about cryptocurrencies being able to decouple from the stock market and the bond market. This is simply not the case. I guess those people haven't been involved in financial markets for a very, very long time. The truth is that the stock market is very, very correlated to the bond market, and both markets are around $120 trillion in size globally. To say that the bond market could decorrelate from stocks is the same as saying crypto could decorrelate from stocks as well. This is statistically improbable to the point that I would say it's impossible. One thing to bear in mind, there is a big, big difference in mindset between retail and smart money. A lot of influencers out there are retail influencers. They're just pushed around by fear all the time. All those screaming faces, they're retail influencers. Professional influencers are very cool, calm and collected. We know what's going on inside the market. We actually track it and we predict what is going to happen next. When we have a look at the fear gauge inside the stock market, the VIX, the fear gauge spiked, it came down. That's not bad. And what we've seen, of course, when we see fear coming down, that means prices are going up. So when we look at the NASDAQ 100, that was an overlay across Bitcoin that I showed you previously. It's coming back to a level of support. This is a higher level of support. It could come down lower to this 14,204 area. In fact, I've drawn a little box in here which dictates that it could go in there. And that would be really, really cool because the markets have a beautiful structure at the moment. This is actually giving us an opportunity to buy more. Far from being the end of the world, our community loves red days. They are the days when our BORSOG levels get hit, and many BORSOG levels were hit. We're actually hoping for more. If you're excited on a red day, please say, I'm excited on a red day in the comments on YouTube. That'd be fantastic. And if you're not so excited on red days, if you're fearful on red days, or you just only want green days to buy, please let us know that as well. These are really good things to talk about. You'll find our community is just incredible. So many wonderful people in our community, and we're very friendly and very warm and very open as well. I believe that we could see a spike up in fear to around this level. If we do, that's incredibly healthy. If we get a retracement in prices with the NASDAQ 100 around this level, that is incredibly healthy as well. What you will find is that when things go parabolic like this, what happened with oil back around the midpoint of February up to its peak around the 4th of March, I was trying to explain to people, this is really, really dangerous. This thing is going to plummet. And that's exactly what it did. It plummeted. But when people are looking at this day in, day out, they're thinking, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss out. I need to get into oil. And then what happens? Something like that. And they say, oh, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I need to sell oil. And then something like this happens. And they say, oh, I was right. I need to buy oil. And then something like this happens and it goes down. Oh, I got it wrong. I need to sell. This is what actually destroys investors' portfolios. Remember, if you can trade your way in, both buying and selling, you will have a completely different perspective on the market. The key is that we're not talking about oil, we're talking about exponential price movements. Exponential price movements are the thing, the cornerstone of the crypto market. That's why I created the CTKS methodology to mark up charts. There's a reason that I can predict these things realistically well, because I understand the exponential nature of price movement. When we look at economic concern as measured in bond prices, that is currently collapsing. Bond yields, which are mathematically inverted, are on the way up. We can see gold, measuring geopolitical risk, is basically holding its support line. And we can see also that the US dollar currency index actually broke above its resistance. Let's have a look at the inflation rates. We're like detectives. We go into the market with our detective magnifying glass and we look at as many data points as we can because we need to understand the market's underpinning health. It really makes a difference and it will help you sleep very, very well at night. When we look at Bitcoin compared to inflation expectations, and Masterclass students, you'll get this in TM4, we can see the inflation rate took off. It's been retracing at the moment, but we also have a rule to explain this. That's rule 4, price moves in waves. And if you want to get the legendary card on it, there's price moves in waves on OpenSea, handcrafted by yours truly. So the concept is, when we look at the NASDAQ came down really hard, but it retraced. This is the way that all markets work. It's never all down. It's never all up. Price is always moving in a wave. I would say price moves in waves is the single most important thing for people to understand. If they understand that, they'll be more of a financial blessing to themselves and those they love. What we actually see here, the inflation rate coming down, the NASDAQ coming down, Bitcoin coming down, I believe we're going to find a level of support and start to go back up. Masterclass students get all my live charts that I put here and this one is in LV10. This is Bitcoin compared to the inverse of bond prices, and we can see all the bond prices, the inverse of it, giving a directional bias to Bitcoin. This is another very nice piece of probabilistic evidence that Bitcoin is on the way up. When people are new to the crypto market, they focus on outlying alts. Alts way away from the top 200. This can be a tragic mistake. Actually getting into alts in the top 200 is really good. Some of them won't make it. Absolutely, there is no certainty. But if you think about the number of alts out there, which if you just go across to CoinMarketCap is nearly 19,000, and you can see all these very interesting coins coming up. What actually happens is when people are very new, they get sucked in by these big percentage moves. If it's come up this much, it's probably destined to fall the next day and take all your money. Or they're actually sucked in by very low prices. Just because you get more of something doesn't actually mean you've got something of value. Traders are completely different. What traders focus on is not price, but percentage. $1,000 in Bitcoin has a different quantity than $1,000 in Ethereum, but it's still $1,000. If both of them go up, for example, 10%, it doesn't matter what quantity you have, you focus on the percentages, and this is exactly what professionals do. Just as BORSOG, buy on red, sell on green, is a concept, we also have 10-5-10 as a concept. We have the weekly percentage as a concept as well. And how it works, if you put $1,000 in a week, if you made 10% back, you have an extra 100. Well done, that's pretty cool, not bad within a week. But if you annualize this return over 52 weeks, you would actually have an annualized return on investment of 11,639%. That's from 10% a week. And if you think about it, because crypto is so incredibly volatile, 10 times more volatile than the stock market, and significantly in excess of that for Forex, when you look at it, if you could get 10% per week, and we're not saying that you should focus on getting 10% per week. This is an abstract concept, but it's very important because every professional knows this. If you had that return compounded each week, you would turn 1,000 into 117,000. And you can see the 11,639 gain here. What it's really about is to understand it's not about the price, it's about the percentage. And this is what this example is all about. So how would you get that percentage? For one, you must know what you're doing. You must have the knowledge. And what is earned is kept. A lot of people think that they can just get a participation award for turning up and putting their money into a crypto. That's not the way markets work. Only knowledge will actually yield results, and knowledge is all about following the rules of the market, knowing what the rules are, and there's a lot of them. Having patience as well, having a good focus on real wealth and a positive excellence life trend. When you get the money, who will you be? The answer is you should have a meaningful and really happy and beautiful life. Remember, own or do is not you. What you own is not you. What you do is not you. You exist independently of these things. One of the most critical things is to buy on red. If you take anything away from today, if you're new to the community, of course, welcome, but just take away buy on red. It is inherently difficult for retail investors and traders to buy on red, but that's the only time the percentage moves in your direction. What you will actually see when you understand the rules of the crypto market and you think with a non-retail mindset, that's incredibly important. A retail mindset will get you wrecked in crypto. It will get you wrecked in any financial market, but crypto especially. You need to have the knowledge and you need to earn the knowledge. Anything unearned is always returned. We can see Bitcoin consolidating at a level of support here. It can go lower. what we actually see is this blue line. That is Bitcoin's price action mapped across this particular alt. In this case, it's Ethereum. You notice as Bitcoin came down, what did Ethereum do? It came down. As Bitcoin consolidated and went up, what did Ethereum do? It consolidated and went up. You'll see this all the time. What do we see here with Binance Coin? We can see Binance Coin did really well. It's got latent power. These are the kind of things that we actually look for as professional investors and traders. What about XRP? It's following Bitcoin's fingerprint. What about Cardano? Following Bitcoin's fingerprint. You can see the blue line. You can see Cardano's price action. They're following each other. Solana, nice uptick here. Sort of powerful, more powerful than what Bitcoin is doing. A lot of people use pairing. They say, oh, I'm going to use Solana versus ETH and see which one is better. Well, that's okay, of course. Whatever your edge is, that's terrific. But actually, you need to look at Bitcoin. And you only need to look at Bitcoin in this way. Any of those pairs can be very, very confusing. It's possible for the market to be absolutely sinking and one ETH to be outperforming the other in a negative direction. And I've seen people buy it and I say, what are you doing that for? You're actually costing yourself money. And they say, well, some influencer told me to do this. And I look at the influencer. Yes, it's a retail influencer. I must say, I'm consistently concerned about how little knowledge some of these big influencers have. They're talking about price and saying it's going to do this and it's going to do that without having any knowledge of trading whatsoever. That is so dangerous. Like what I was showing you with oil. Retail influencers get you to buy at the top and sell at the bottom. It's just shocking. So we can see Luna coming down, just following Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. And what do we notice about AVAX? AVAX is doing quite well. It's got a powerful move in here. Which out of these 8 would you select if you were interested in going in at this particular time? I'm not suggesting you go into any of them. I'm just suggesting have an analysis. Just look at the different chart patterns and try to say to yourself, what would be the best percentage return? Nothing about price, just ignore price. Rule 114 is really, really valuable. Markets penalize certainty. If you want certainty from the market, you will be penalized. Think about oil as it went up. Think about gold as it went up. Think about anything as it went up, even Bitcoin as it goes up. These things, certainty is penalized. You've got to get yourself out of certainty. So the question is, how do you get yourself out of certainty? The key is to know that you're in it or you're not in it. If you, for example, have just entered the market, you're addicted to the news, to indicators, to certainty. You want exact bottoms, exact tops. You're going all in and all out. You're not quite sure what to buy. You're in zone 1 or zone 2. Unfortunately, those behaviors that you will absolutely experience will lose you money. There is an addiction to certainty. Money's really important to us. We want to be certain that we're going to get a return. That's why people buy on the green, because they say, wow, it's going up. I feel so good. I feel so safe. But actually, the market's always moving in a wave. Price moves in waves. So what's happening is that you've pushed the percentage against you. And of course, when things go wrong, blame happens, conflict happens. The internal and external piece flies out the window. The only thing that can get people from the losing money rules into the making money rules is learning and a commitment to positive excellence. We're not just after making money. That's a shallow thing to do. And I know so many influencers, again, so many retail influencers say you are what you have. You are your car. You are your house. You are your boat, or something like that. Isn't it crazy? You're not any of those things. You're you. All you need to do is to be the best you that you can be, and be it in a positive excellence life trend manner. A positive excellence life trend is focused focused and targeted on this. I created a new word. How cool is that? It's all about persistence and commitment, generosity and selflessness, courage and honor. We wouldn't think about doing the wrong thing by people with integrity and decency. We just wouldn't think of misrepresenting a chart, and they do it all the time out there. In the masterclass, you'll learn all the techniques to become independent of the market. One of the most beautiful things that you can ever have is these 4 boxes, or these 4 things in these 2 boxes: gratitude and happiness. Every day is a beautiful day, and it's a chance to begin again. So that can automatically make us happy. If we don't care about what we have and what we do, then we can just be who we are. And you can just be yourself because you're supposed to be yourself. That will create inner peace and outer peace. The money will follow later. If you apply the rules successfully, you will be very, very wealthy, not just in feeling, but also financially. And what we stand for in our community is not to go out and buy Lamborghinis and private yachts and all of that kind of stuff. You can do it if you wish, but what we focus on is being more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. We have a different focus here. Please let me know in the comments on YouTube, where do you think Bitcoin is headed? A, B, C, D, or E? I'd love to hear from you. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to YouTube. We'd love to have you as a member of our global KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and also to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students, and of course a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use and the official links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please use the links to seek out an ambassador to get 80% off. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.